Hi, I'm Mark, a student at Toronto Film School. What did I do before TFS? I was really bored in high school. I was 17, and a friend of mine suggested that we drop out and join the army. I was part of the first group to arrive in Kabul. The camp was barely set up. Compared to my friends though, my tour was rather uneventful. With the hard work and little to no sleep, I sustained a permanent injury. I haven't been able to go back to Afghanistan with my friends. I just can't help but think that had I been there, maybe one of my friends could have come home. I just feel like I let them all down. I was offered a transfer out of the infantry and joined the Air Force.
I decided to change my career path because I wasn't happy where I was. I was getting burnt out. Life was getting a bit hard, a lot of stress to manage. So I saw an opportunity because of my injury. The government is actually covering my cost of film school for me, and this is why I came to Toronto Film School.
Can I talk about my ideas? Sure. I have an idea for a video game that's about war and sci-fi elements and aliens. I want to use their lore and their world, but to put my own story into it. It'd be like putting my characters in Lord of the Rings world and follow the rules and laws, but have my own story of it. What else has had a large impact in my life? My daughters. I still remember the day Elizabeth was born. She's my oldest. She came out, she was so big, like she fit like my arm. I had to use like my whole arm just to hold her. We were in the delivery room, and she was just like, time stopped, nothing else mattered. It just gave me a whole other perspective on life that I think only a child can give you. The nurses in the hospital didn't like it, but I spent the whole night holding her in my arms, sitting on the couch. We spent about 2 to 3 days there. I just basically followed Elizabeth everywhere. I stayed at home raising her while Haley went back to work, and she quit her job to try to build a business. And then I basically did everything. Feedings, making the food. It was amazing. I really enjoyed the parental time. I'd do it again. Actually, I would do it again. And then we had our second child, Madeleine. I call her Bear. She came out premature, so she had a bunch of tubes. She's still pretty big, but she had a bunch of tubes, so she spent some time in ICU. I stayed with her as much as I could. It was a lot harder then because we now have another kid, so we couldn't spend as much time together. And I found that I was getting really tired because I was trying to balance work, the kids, and we had just recently bought a house. Her business wasn't successful. It created a lot of arguments with money. I was really tired. I was sleeping very little, feeding her like throughout the night, and getting up with Elizabeth, doing everything in the mornings. And I found that when I asked Haley if she could feed Madeleine one night, just one night so I can catch up on sleep, she looked at me in the eyes and said, "No, that's your job." I knew then and there, like, relationship was over. We were done. There was no going back. How did I cope with the stress? Haley ended up calling the police one night. So I ended up spending a week in the mental hospital after they realized that I had a suicide plan in motion. Being in the hospital is actually pretty good though. I get there that one night and I'm like looking around. And I remember seeing the bed and I'm in a gown and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Everything kind of like slowed right down after that. It was a huge change. I joined a yoga studio and I really enjoy yoga because it strengthened my mind and body. The meditation aspect really helped with my anger. It helped with just being at peace. Because of my leg injury, I can't run. But with yoga, I managed to do some cardio and strengthen myself, but using my body weight. How have I managed to be creative so far? Well, during our PSA, the trunk of the car was open, and I managed to blank that out. If you look carefully, you'll probably see it. And I also moved our actor because we didn't get the shot I wanted, but didn't really want to do a reshoot. So I had to move the actor over in post and remove one of the kids walking around. She's supposed to be in the trunk, but she's walking behind the bench in one of our insert shots. I'm like, no, that doesn't work.
So how I've used my skateboard creatively? Well, I went on the set for the Burrito Boys. There was a chase scene with Jesse. He comes out of the store, looks back, and then he just bolts, and I chase him down with a skateboard. It's actually really fun and really cool. I hope to do it more often so we can get some good tracking shots, and as I get better with it, we can maybe even do like a car chase scene at some point.
What do I plan to do when school is over? I plan on trying to find a position as an editor. I want to learn more about editing, maybe special effects, but really learn how to tell my story. And once I've learned those skills, maybe I can become a director and show my story. Thanks for having me.